are here with Raphael Shawan. Some of y'all may know him from the R&B group, a legendary R&B group, Next. His name from that group is Tweet, but he changed, well, not changed his name. He's going by his birth name now, Raphael Shawan. He's moving on, mental health, activation, spiritual, everything. That's what we're here to talk about. So, how are you doing today?
I'm perfectly well, my brother. Thank you for having me, Malik.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let's get started. So the group Next is a legendary group. I believe y'all don't get the flowers that y'all deserve, but y'all are legendary. From Wifey to Too Close to Butter Love, Wifey, everybody plays at the wedding. Everybody plays at the wedding. Too Close, even I feel like that song is for every generation because I know my mom, I know it, my little brother know it. It's just a multi-generational song. So can you talk a little bit about the group and yeah, just a little bit about the group.
Well, Next was formed back in like 1994. It consists of my brother Tilo and our little adopted brother RL. I've known RL since he was about 16. I was 17. Tilo came to me one day. He said he wanted to do a singing group. I was about 16 years old. I wanted to go to school to be a computer engineer, but that was like my third option. I really wanted to run track for the United States, and I wanted to play in the NFL. And then he said, "Nah, we need to try this group." So I was gonna go to school in the fall. I gave him to the end of summer. Met RL at a talent show, and he was in a completely different group. He obviously stood out. His talent was, as it is still today. The guy he's just a star. And so, we left there. We went to the studio. We did like this makeshift audition where we all had to go into the studio and pick a song and sing it on the microphone in the studio to see who's gonna stay in the group. But we kind of already knew. And then, so after that, when we finally got together and formed a group, I mean, we were ghetto fabulous in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm talking like less than 30 days after forming the group, we were like a household name around the city. And then we ran into a few artists. We met Aaliyah, we met MC Light, we met Montel Jordan. And, now that we're artists, we understand when you meet an artist and they say, man, we'll try to see what we can do. Artists aren't usually in a position to sign other artists, but they gave us good advice and they did talk to us. But KG and Vinny from Naughty by Nature happened to come to the city, and we met them at the Mall of America. And so after meeting KG and Vinny at the Mall of America, we actually went to their show the next day at Prince's Club, First Ave in Minneapolis. Went over to their club. Tilo had a demo tape in his pocket. Yep, I said demo tape. Kids, if you don't know what that is, look it up. He's like,
see, I'm young, but I know stuff like that.
Like, it had to be like demo tape. Like, what is that? Like, first of all, it wasn't digital. Like, nah, it wasn't digital. It was a tape in your pocket. So he gave it to him and had our songs on it. We had a few songs that we had done. We worked with these guys named Prof T and Lance from the group Low Key there out of Kansas City, Missouri. They had some pretty popular records. Then, so KG liked what he heard. He flew us out to New York. I'm fast forwarding past a lot of stuff because quite a bit of things happened. But just to make the story concise, once we got to New York and we did a showcase for Clive Davis and the entire Arista Records staff at SR Studios. And I guess we blew Clive away because Clive and KG went over right after the performance, signed us in 45 minutes. We were out in one day under a year. It was like one of the fastest turnarounds ever. And we put out Butter Love, and the hood loved us, but the world was kind of like, ah. Then we put our album out, and we didn't really sell that much the first week, so we were really bummed. We fought the label because back then we were like young, mannish. We wanted to do sexy music. We wanted the women to like us. We wanted to, you know what I mean? We were trying to like be with women because we were young. We were like trying to do all the stuff we heard about in the industry. And so we fought to not have Too Close as our second single. The label insisted. Thank God they did. Too Close came out, and we literally turned to the Black Beatles overnight. It was amazing. It was just like unbelievable.
So Too Close, Wifey, next, the group next. What memory from the group that like you look back on and be like, I did that, or what achievement do you think that you look back on now, or are you not looking back?
They're quite there's a lot actually. I'm quite grateful for the entire career, but the some of the major things, major achievements we still have on our belt is Too Close is number 30 on Billboard's Hot 100 of all time.
All
Yeah. Also, we still hold the record for the most wins for a group or duo in Billboard history with 8 Billboard wins in one night, and we were nominated for 9.
right.
And I have it on my Instagram. You can see one of my posts that it just he's the guy just reading off every
Yes, y'all
award
are.
we won. We're walking to the stage.
Yeah, y'all are
Yeah,
the most awarded male R&B group in history.
man. I mean, see, it's moments like that, but then there's moments like getting to connect with the audience. I remember the first time when we came back from the UK, we were number 1 with Too Close, and I remember fans had pictures of me like in 7th grade, like big blown up pictures. Like I'm like I never even seen that picture before. Where'd that come from?
Right,
And just the way that felt, it was so overwhelming. Like you can't prepare for that. You have to actually experience it. No matter how much I explain it, you can't really understand exactly what the feeling was, but it was an amazing feeling to be able to feel what number 1 feels like all over the world, and then to be able to share that energy with fans. Because I was talking the way that I talk today, well, a bit more immature, but I was talking, giving the fans like telling them if they're admiring what we're doing, they have something in them that they can do as well. So that felt good to be able to be that in their lives at that moment.
right. So hip hop just celebrated 50 years of hip hop, and giving flowers and all that. Do you believe that your group has received the flowers that y'all deserve, or do y'all feel like y'all still are trying to get those flowers, but you're tired now from the group? So how does that make you feel?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like we're receiving what we're meant to receive. I never try to fight with what is. I realize that everything happens for great reason. It all happens in the timing that it's supposed to happen. So I feel like the flowers that we're receiving or have received, yeah, it's plenty. Our song is in the new movie with Julia Roberts,
Yes,
the Leave the World Behind movie, and I mean, we're still getting flowers. Too Close and Wifey is constantly being played all over the world all the time, and it's just a great blessing, all of it. And I think when we find ourselves being upset by wanting more than what we have,
right,
instead of just being grateful for what we have, you don't get to enjoy the moment that you're actually in. So I don't waste my time trying to create things to be more than they are in the situation. I do what I can to make things better in the future.
right. So you left the group after 26 years. A lot of people, a lot of your fans are a little sad, but it's not like you leaving the group for any drama or anything like that. It's for a good cause. So, can you talk about a little bit about the activations, the spiritual aspects that you're going into now? Because that's very important. And this is like a college type publication. So, a lot of these college students are going through mental health problems, and I know you have some solutions to that. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't say so. I don't feel like I left the group. I feel like I retired at the perfect time because I want to clarify that because I just want people to understand that sometimes your life call for you to do something that you have to answer the call. It's just like when you decide to go to college to be a certain thing. That thing it's a burning desire in you long before you go and apply and get accepted into a college. But I do also understand the stresses that come along with making that choice. Once you make the choice, you have to keep the grade, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. Sometimes people are hungry, and so I know that feeling. I remember when we were creating our first album, we didn't have a lot of money like that. My first son was just being born, so I was sending all the little bit of money I was getting back home to make sure that my son's mother was taken care of. And so I sent the whole check. I wasn't even leaving like a little bit of money for myself. I was getting $1,500 a month, and I was sending the entire $1,500 back home because she's pregnant. We had to take care of living expenses and stuff like that. And back then things were, wasn't as expensive. So I was able to do my part, but I was leaving myself with nothing. And sometimes it was tough, having sleep for dinner when you're feeling like you're doing something that's a part of like a gift and a blessing, but you just got to hold your head. Like one of the things that I've learned is a cleansing breath. A cleansing breath is something that can center you no matter what you're going through. And it saved my life so many times when I wanted to be reactive. And in life, you don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. You want to be in charge of your energy. You don't want to be a puppet. So a cleansing breath looks like this. You breathe in through your nose, hold it for a couple seconds, and then exhale with a sigh out of your mouth. So say something happens, you get upset. Before you respond or do anything, just take a moment. And if you just do one, maybe it's not enough. So maybe do 3. If that's not enough, do 5. If that's not enough, do 10. But do as many as you need to do until you can calm yourself, because that can save your life. That could be the difference between making a choice that you'll regret for the rest of your life, or calming yourself and being able to think clearly in that moment. Because sometimes the reaction is no reaction. It's say nothing. It's walk away, but in this life, you want to make sure you're making decisions that allow you to be your real self, not a puppet. And so using things like a cleansing breath, meditation, oh my goodness, it has saved my life and continues to save my life. I actually did a meditation right before I came on. I was just finishing up. But I mean, the level of mental clarity that you get from a meditation is very difficult to explain. And I used to be a really, really hyper person. So it was tough for me to meditate. And when I used to, when I first started meditating back in 2012, I would sit in meditation for hours sometimes, thinking the whole time, no meditation, just thinking, thinking, thinking. I'd be like, man, I'm not doing this right. And when I found that I needed to have a why, just like you need a why for everything that you do, because when you face challenges, if your why is strong, you can get through anything, So I had to create a why, and I realized that the best and the only real gift that I can give back to the creator, to God in this life, is my undivided attention while I'm awake. I could be doing anything with my time, and I'm giving my silence and giving my peace and just sitting still and receiving from the creator in that moment. So when you pray, you're talking to the creator, you're speaking to God, you're asking for things, you're saying thank you. When you meditate, that's how you receive, and they go hand in hand. And unfortunately, no one's ever really taught us that, because we think that that's like some Eastern, like, we think that's from the East. And we think that it's not something that we should do, because I was born in church. My granddad was a minister. So when I first heard about meditation, it felt like I was kind of cheating on God and the way that I grew up and the things that I learned. But I had to learn that, it's just like your left hand and your right hand. It's best if you have both of them, and when I meditate, I realize that my prayers get answered because I can hear the answer when I meditate. So anybody that's thinking about getting into meditation, tap in with me. I'll put my information, and I'm willing to teach whoever how to meditate, because I feel like it's a great tool that will allow you to get through anything you're going through. And it'll even give you answers to things. You can pass tests. You can, just smooth out your life and make things just more in your favor. You won't have to feel like you're fighting your way through life. You get to flow through life.
Yeah, so that was my question I was about to ask, because we know the R&B target audience is a lot of gospel people, and you move into the meditation, that spiritual area, a lot of gospel people, a lot of Christians, they don't see that as a type of outlet, but it could be for you. It could be for anybody. So that's great to know, that the meditation and all of that. So I just learned a little bit of information. So you're doing the meditation, you're doing that. So since you retired from the group, does that mean you're not doing anything associated with the group? Because I know BET Plus, BET did say they're looking for their next docu series for R&B male group, but since you retired from the group, like, what is your stance about
I'm definitely 100% committed to doing my energy mindset coaching business as well as my sound bath sound healing company. I mean, I I'm really committed to that right now. I have a lot of clients all over the world that I work with, and many different walks of life, many facets. And right now, I'm not available to do anything on that level. So a docu series would take, time, focus, and commitment. The reason why I retired because my heart is somewhere else. So I don't want to split myself, and I don't want to half do anything. If I do anything, I want to give my best and give my all. And I felt like it was a time for me to be loyal to myself and practice self-love, because it's so important right now today to practice self-love. A lot of times we make decisions that are based on making other people feel good, but we're not as happy as we can be. And it wasn't that being in Next doesn't make me happy, it's that it makes me completely happy to be in the energy healing space and the coaching space to help people get through what I was once going through, because I was in a rough space in my life for a long time, and I'm out with the group, number one, selling records, on tour, doing a lot. I mean, money, homes, just everything, and my life was completely different, and I felt like I was so broken on the inside, and I was suffering because I went through a lot in my childhood. I went through a lot in my adulthood, and there are a lot of people who are suffering in silence. And I do what I do to give a voice to the voiceless, to give a light on a pathway of someone who feels like they're lost or feel like they're alone. And I feel like that's the most important thing I can do with my time right now. And um, I'm offering people the elevator when I an ice-filled mountain to get to where I am. And so I'm not gonna allow people to learn as hard as I learned if they don't have to. And if they're ready to hear from me, I'm ready to show them.
that? Right. And you're an advocate for mental health. You're doing this activations with your meditation and all of that. So what's next for you? Or you just continue to focus on this? Like, are there like any products, any projects that you can talk about? I know AC told me a little bit of things, but a little confidential. But what can you tell me?
Yeah. So what we're doing right now is I'm taking Sound Bath, our Sound Bath company and Sound Healing around the world. We're going to be taking that on tour, so you'll be able to tap in with me in different places around the world. We're putting a schedule together now, and soon we'll be launching that. So you'll see where you can tap in with us for Sound Bath and Sound Healing. Also, I do activation. So if you want to do an activation with me, you could reach me at admin at bestlifeeverteam.com. Again, that's admin at bestlifeeverteam.com. And you can schedule a private or a group activation. And what an activation is, it's a 15-minute meditation, a guided meditation by me, where I walk you through. I have an example of it on my Instagram. I did one live with someone yesterday. It was our first time meditating, and you got to see how a person can go from, she was feeling a little anxious. She's not really into being in front of the camera and stuff like that. So that was a first for her, and it's kind of outside of what she's comfortable with. But after the activation, she felt peaceful. We're going to be monitoring her progress coming up now after, and I'm going to be posting her progress. But she already did a progress report yesterday and said she feels completely different than she ever felt in her life. Some of the people I've done activation with has healed themselves from cancer, from diabetes. Some people have found love. I did an activation with a good friend in February. We just went to her wedding in October, and she felt like she could never find love. And we did an activation. She had a date that night and walked right into her husband. Um, I've done it for people who wanted a career change or to be upgraded in their career. So it doesn't have to be anything specific. It can be whatever it is that you want to activate. And as long as you're ready for it during the activation, we can definitely assist you in making that happen. But it's the same as anything. Like if we go to the gym together, I can lift all I want and won't get you muscles. So we gotta, you gotta do your part, but I can show you what's working for me.
Wow, that's great. So you go by Raphael Shawan now.
Yes.
You do your spiritual meditation. That's all great. So you didn't leave the group. You retired. For all the people out there that like to stir a lot of stuff up, he didn't leave.
Now, and yeah, I didn't leave the group. I just retired, and I'm still here. And also, there's going to be more music. I'm doing more music. I'm just doing different types of music. I am married. I'm happily married. And I want to make music for people who are like just truly in love. No one will be disrespected in my music. My music will be about, true love, marriage, connection. And it's not just marriage, just committed relationships, monogamy, and what it means to be um, a high character person. People talk.
Right. So we want to say thank you. So you have new music on the way, a different type of music on the way. So we're looking forward to that. And oh, this is my last thing because I learned this song. Little Mo did the background vocals on that.
Absolutely, that's Lil Mo.
So did you pick her to do that, or like how did that work?
I believe KG from Naughty by Nature picked her to be on it. I mean, we know Mo; she's family now. We met her back then when she did it, but I believe that was a KG call. I'm not exactly sure who picked Mo, but I'm glad they did. Mo's amazing, and she handled it perfectly.
Right, right. So I just want to say thank you for being up here. You just taught me something new to breathe because I was like, what the world is going on? But you just confirmed that everything happens for a reason. He is doing a lot. He's doing the spiritual, the meditation, the activations, and I know you have a new Instagram um, that follows your new journey. So can you let everybody know what that is?
Yes, my new Instagram is at Raphael Shawan. It's at RAPHAELSHAWAN. Raphael Shawan. I pronounced the A on Raphael.
Right.
But thank you so much. And also, we're working on some things. I could possibly end up on some stages at some of your colleges, speaking to you live in person. You can ask me some questions, and I can teach you the deep breathing live in person. So that's also something on the table that we're looking at. So anything I could do to connect, man. I know what it feels like to be on this journey, and we all are. No one ever graduates, so I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and I just want y'all to know that it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. You know what I mean? So that's where you are right now, Malik. It's no big deal. Everything's good. Um, Honestly, you stepped off for a second because somebody needed to hear what I had to say, and what if I just left? You know what I mean? Like, what if I got off? Everything happens as it's designed, so just go with it, flow with it. And you did a great job. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for having me. Connect back with me. I'll pop back through and try some of that deep breathing. I'd love to hear how it's working out for you. I see, obviously, right in this moment, it's done some work already, but
Yes. So
it's
thank
like
you.
working out. The more you do it, the better it gets, the easier it gets. And no matter what you're going through in life, it actually helps you. Like, people bug out in traffic and stuff like that. I never bug out in anything anymore. I'm usually just calm and just relaxed because I know that everything's happening for me and not to me.
Right. So thank you so much. I'm gonna use that